Bone Runes, Arcane Rebirth. Written by Tyler Pyle. Narrated by Zach Pennington. Dear Mom and Dad, this is dedicated to you. Through all the hardship and all the struggle we have faced as a family, I am thankful you are my parents. While it wasn't always easy, I wouldn't change it for the world. For all the notebooks of stories I've filled since I was a child, to the sleepless nights in prayer for you two, I am thankful to call you my mom and dad. You two have raised me, taught me, and molded me into being able to love, hope, and remember the possibilities of what God can do, even in the most troublesome times. If I had to do it all over, I would, just to have you two as you are now. Thank you for the love and support over the course of my life. Love, your son. Chapter 1. Blackwood Academy. There are moments in life that define your very existence. For some, it's how they die, going out in a glorious final hurrah. For others, it's the quiet legacy of raising a family, planting the seeds of a new generation that might leave an even greater mark. For Thomas, it was the moment the bullies pushed him just a little too far. Thomas Aldrich was a 14-year-old boy preparing to start his first year of high school. His most notable feature was the streaks of white that ran through his bangs, contrasting against the auburn hair that hung flat over his forehead. His eyes were a matching auburn with a glimmer that often went unnoticed. By all accounts, Thomas was considered average, just another kid, except he lived in an orphanage. Like many kids, Thomas was bullied. Most of it was mild, name-calling and teasing about his looks or personality, but sometimes it cut deeper. Jabs at his self-worth, cruel remarks about being passed around the foster system like a hot potato. Families rarely kept him long. Emotional flare-ups seemed to follow him, triggered simply by his presence. It was like there was an aura around him, heavy, unshakable, and beyond his control. The most recent incident happened 6 months ago. The family had been foster parents for quite some time, one of the most respected in the system, having taken in hundreds of children over the past 20 years. But they weren't as they had been described. The father was quieter than expected and seemed irritated whenever he made eye contact with Thomas. Thomas could never figure out why. One day, he accidentally knocked over a glass of water at the table. The father exploded, shouting without restraint. His temper snapped. That night, Thomas was taken back to the orphanage with little to no explanation. A few days later, the family contacted the orphanage to apologize. Like many before them, they claimed not to understand what had come over them. They described it as a slow, burning rage that built up inside. Regardless, Thomas was back at the orphanage, and they never tried to take him in again. He used to dream of finding a forever family, but the older he got, the less likely it seemed. Older kids were rarely adopted, and without siblings, his chances felt even slimmer. Thomas. Earth to Thomas. A woman's voice cut through the haze, and Thomas blinked back to awareness. He looked up, meeting the warm gaze of the woman seated in front of him. The quiet tick of a wall clock filled the room. He sat sunken into a memory foam couch, fingers digging into the cushions. Across from him sat a young brunette woman with tan skin and glasses, smiling gently. She held a clipboard with a pencil clip to it. When Thomas met her brown eyes, he tensed and blushed. "Thomas, hon, it's okay," she said softly. Still, the tightness in his chest didn't ease. "Right, I'm sorry. What was the question again, Miss Riley?" His words came out tentative, embarrassment creeping over him. No, it's fine, sweetheart. I was just asking if the dreams have stopped." Her voice was kind and calm, but her reassurance didn't reach him. His eyes flicked away, either because of her beauty or because of the secret he was too scared to tell. "No, my dreams stopped," he said. It was a lie, one that only hurt him more. She scribbled on the clipboard, harsh, scratchy sounds that felt like needles in his ears. Her tentative smile, her happiness, it was all because of a lie. His throat tightened, his mind buzzed, but the thoughts were scrambled, unreadable, just the weight of the lie pressing down. Good, then the medicine's working. Her face lit up with joy. She was one of the few people who seemed to care, but the medication wasn't working. His body didn't respond to it. It was like he was immune. Still, he couldn't bring himself to tell her the truth. The nightmares were getting worse. They always ended the same way. Bloodshed and collapse. the world crumbling in on.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.